I've taken HAVOC more than any other pre-workout combined from any sponsor I've ever been with. So that's how much I enjoy taking HAVOC.
Welcome to Price Plow.
What's up, Price Plow Nation? We're here today with Nick Karalekas and Guy Cisternino from MFit Supps. MFit's a new company to the channel as well as to the industry. They launched this year at the Arnold, and they've been on fire since. So I'm going to let Nick give a little bit of background for the company, and we'll start moving into the new products.
What's up, guys? My name is Nick Karalekas, manager of MFit Supps. MFit Supps is owned by A&Z Pharmaceutical. They've been in the industry for about 23 years to be exact. A little background on A&Z. Being in the industry for 23 years, they have the #2 selling vitamin D and calcium supplement in all of China named Decal, which a lot of people don't know. And as a company, we take a lot of pride in that. So with that experience and that market knowledge within that space, we wanted to kind of, I guess, test the waters in the US. So what we did initially when we started the brand was testing our I guess, the foot in the pool type of method in China, in Beijing at FIBO when we debuted the brand, which we were very successful at that show. It's the first FIBO in Shanghai, by the way.
I heard that FIBO was crazy.
Yeah, it was nuts. The venue was astronomically huge. It's unbelievable. And then I would say 5-6 months later, we already had the formulas in place for MFit Supps USA, and we kind of wanted to make a splash with the brand. And not a lot of brands I'll have the stones to really launch at a show as big as the Arnold, but we wanted to make a statement, and we did take a chance, because there's a lot of brands that do try and launch at the Arnold and they kind of just fade out, and that is the polar opposite of what we did, fortunately. So the brand itself launched at the Arnold. We had a very successful week. We brought Guy in, which was, in my opinion, the best move we've ever made. I knew Guy through a mutual friend, reached out a couple times. Didn't really work out because at the time he was traveling literally every weekend, which we still do. Yeah. Unfortunately, I'm there with him. But you know, we've been keeping busy. We've been growing consistently. Our social just every day just grows and grows and grows. So we're very, very happy to have him alongside another athlete, Steve Lorius, who plays second at the Arnold Classic, and we look forward to his next show to see how he places. But overall, that's the overview of MFit Supps as from an aesthetic standpoint.
Yeah, I'm sure Guy and Steve really helped with that launch at the Arnold.
Yeah, we weren't expecting, to be honest, when we were at the booth, we weren't expecting how cluttered our booth would get initially. Because we had people from sign up giving the emails, and from a logistics standpoint just going on.
Like a big U.
Yeah, and and you would think at some point people would say, screw this line, I'm out.
Yeah.
People would wait, especially for this one right here. Like,
Yeah.
people would wait on the outside. At one point, sorry, Optimum Nutrition, I had to steal some of their the borders. I had to go to there because they weren't using them, so I took them and we outlined them.
Yeah.
The booth just to control it because we were so crowded at one point.
Yeah.
We ran out of shirt samples before the morning of the last day of the Arnold. We were sorry, guys.
Out.
It's a good problem to have.
Exactly.
Right?
So we had a very successful launch.
Cool.
Yeah.
Crowd control at those shows is, I mean,
Impossible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some companies have a separate person just to make sure that the. So not only did you guys have really strong athletes, but you guys came to bat with some solid formulas.
Mm-hmm.
And I think one of the things that I was most impressed with, Guy showed me the formulas a couple months ago. I was at the gym with him, and then when I got on the phone with you, you know, I get on the phone with a lot of companies, and everyone's like, this is the next big thing. Like, we do things like no one else, and you get on the phone, you're like, look, we're giving you what you need when you need it.
Mm-hmm.
It's simple, you know. It hits hard. It's just what you need, and we're not going to oversell you on this, because I think a lot of the times companies are like overselling their product.
1,000%.
You know, it's just a dietary supplement.
Yeah.
You looked at your formulas. The WPI is a pure WPI. The pre-workout. There's, I mean, outside of not knowing what watermelon extract was at first.
Actually, guys, when you get a chance, really look up the watermelon fruit extract. There's a lot of health benefits to that that people don't really realize, and it also goes with the flavor.
Yes.
But if you actually look into it, it's actually really, really cool.
Right. At first, but you look at the formula like, this is a good pre-workout.
Mm-hmm.
Like, everything is dosed right where it needs to be.
Exactly.
Nothing. And there's no spots where I'm like, oh, I'd like to see a little bit more here.
Yeah.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it was a perfect storm for you guys. The right show, the right people, the right products at the right time.
I agree 1,000%.
Cool. So bringing Guy on, what was it like for you guys? I mean, Guy's one of the most well-known bodybuilders in the industry. Has a following that is almost cult-esque.
No, that's true. True.
And I mean, so you guys right off the bat just started having appearances with him.
Yeah, we actually had the pleasure of the day before the Arnold. We had the fortunate opportunity to actually launch at Bullfrog Columbus with my man Paul Callahan. And just to reiterate, Paul, when it comes to customer service, supplying top-notch products like our line and a multitude of lines, Paul's one of the very few people that genuinely cares what he's selling you. He even did, I think it was like a 3-day swap thing with his customers. Like, you bring in a brand that you're not happy with and I will supply you.
It was called like bringing your shitty product and we'll give you a better product.
Essentially, and it was awesome, and he did a great job with that. But yeah, just a little quick shout out to Paul. But yeah, we had an amazing showing at the Arnold. We honestly went in, and like I said in our conversation earlier, a lot of brands can launch on a platform that large, but they kind of just fade out a couple weeks after, and it's kind of like, it's the one-hit wonder type deals. And we hit it out of the park, and right now, we're having a great rookie year, and we're continuing to grow, not at a rapid pace, but at a healthy, quick pace. And I think that has a lot to do with the people that you surround yourself with in the brand itself. Guy Cisternino, Steve Laurie's placing second in the Classic division, and we're really looking forward to his next showing, along with Guy's return to the stage, which everyone is clamoring about right now. And we're very honored to be the brand that represents Guy, and vice versa. That's why this relationship works so well, by the way, because it's not, I'm an athlete of MFit. We represent Guy, Guy represents us. It goes both ways, and that is what I think at the same time gets lost in this industry. Even with brands in general, why Guy joined MFit is because there's a lot of nonsense out there that people just take what looks nice on a label. Yes, we have very nice labels, but what you're taking is, yes, a superior product, it is. But quality, when it comes to A&Z Pharmaceutical, that I mentioned earlier in the video, when it comes to quality, that is the #1 marker when it comes to creating a brand, and when it comes to actually putting in the high quality ingredients at their efficaciously dosed markers. That's the #1 thing that matters to this company. Right. Just as a whole, and as a mantra, if you will. And again, partnering up with athletes like Guy and Steve really does go a long way. People who are authentic. Now, exactly. Yeah. And you're getting as authentic gets with him. Yeah. And we appreciate that.
So, Guy, tell us what it's like you being with MFit. I mean, you've been with 3 brands in your whole career. Yeah. Since what?
Turned pro in 2008, and since then I've only been with BSN, Centurion Labz, and now MFit. And I both left both BSN and Centurion Labz on my own accord. I know when I left BSN, people thought I got let go. I actually left BSN with 8 months left of my contract. I didn't like the direction the company was going. I didn't believe in the brand anymore. They were just, so when Scott and Chris sold the company, it kind of really killed the brand integrity, at least I thought. So, it wasn't the direction of a company that I wanted to go. So then I ended up, going with Centurion Labz. And, that it was a new company, it was a startup company. I put a lot of legwork in with that company, from packing boxes to help formulating products to, customer support, relations, everything. But it got to a point after 5 years, things started happening behind the scenes that, it wasn't okay with me, especially my name being on some of the products. So I was looking, and I put myself on the market, and I had, as you know, multiple offers on the table. And the last offer that I actually went and met with was Nick, because when I heard startup company, I'm like, fuck, like another startup company. Like, I don't want to pack boxes again. Like, I did all that stuff, when I was with, Centurion Labz. I felt like they utilized me more as an employee than an athlete. And I that was something that always bothered me, they expected me to do so much and travel and take care of the stores and this. And it's hard to be an athlete and compete and make appearances and get purchase orders and then, go to warehouse and do, it's like, you know, as an athlete, you know, the problem is, you know, people look at a pro bodybuilder and they think, oh, well, he's only a pro bodybuilder. Like, he can run here, run there, run there. Like, not that I'm Tom Brady, not that I'm LeBron James, but, like, LeBron James ain't going into a fucking warehouse and doing a live feed. Like, LeBron James ain't packing fucking boxes. Like, you know, that's, as an athlete, like, your job is to be an athlete, promote the company as best you can, try to drive revenue, believe in the product, and do the right thing. So, when I went to meet with Nick, and they said it was a startup company, I actually blew him off a couple times. And then when I went to go meet with them, I showed up in a pair of sweatpants and a t-shirt because I thought it was going to be like this little like garage setting. And I pull up to this huge ass building in Long Island, and I call Nick and I'm like, hey, I said, I'm here. I really don't know where you guys are. He's like, oh, just come inside the building. I was like, what? I was like, there's only one huge building. He's like, yeah, that's our building. I go, oh, I said, you guys must, what do you rent out, like one of the rooms? He's like, no, dude, this is like where like we're located. And I was like, I'm underdressed. I felt like the guy. I was like severely underdressed. I was like, I feel like the guy that shows up to a wedding in jeans, like one of those idiots that you look at and you're like, you're in fucking jeans. But we hit it off, and after I looked at the products, and you know, as much as people want to say bodybuilders are quote unquote meatheads, you know, I have a history degree. I'm an educated human being. I looked at the products, and I think the first product I looked at was HAVOC, and I was like, this is pretty friggin' legit. And then I had Mass Advantage, which was something that was very similar to a product that I developed myself, which made me think that me and Nick kind of had the same mindset. We have the branched chain aminos right sitting on the table right here, which I absolutely love. They got no caffeine in it, which is something that I'm an advocate of when it comes to branched chain aminos. Then we have the Menace, which is the intra workout, which got a little bit of caffeine in it. And then the HAVOC, and I've said this multiple times, I purposely post on my story how much I take HAVOC, because from being with only 3 brands in my pro career, I've taken HAVOC more than any other pre-workout combined from any sponsor I've ever been with. So that's how much I enjoy taking HAVOC. I get good amount of energy, but not too much to where I crash. I get the beta-alanine, which gives me that tingly feeling. It's got the vasodilation, which gives me a crazy pump. And it's got a tremendous focus formula in it. And I don't get dehydrated. I was very impressed with every product that I tried. The flavoring was phenomenal. No upset stomach. There's no artificial coloring or flavoring in any of this stuff. I'm sorry, artificial coloring. We don't have any artificial coloring in any of that stuff. Obviously, some of the stuff has sweeteners. You know, which it's just, that's the way of the world for supplementation. You know, if you ever try to plain branched chain amino or a plain whey protein isolate, it tastes like absolute dog shit. So you obviously need sweeteners to make it taste decent. But yeah, I mean, just, and then the fact that they were an FDA-inspected facility. They're a GMP certified facility. It just, with all the drama going on in the industry and all the companies that are getting knocked and in trouble for not doing things right, I think you're going to see the companies that are doing things right and following proper protocol, they're going to be the ones standing at the end of the day, because the FDA is really starting to crack down on a lot of the bullshit and the gray market products. And, you know, it's sad that people do falsify the labels and lie to their end consumers. But there are companies that, like Bullfrog, that bring in good products, like Natural Body, like Foundation RX, Total Nutrition. Like we have, we're lucky enough to have very good accounts that believe in the product, believe in the brand. And, you know, when you go to owners of retailers that know supplements and know ingredients, they can tell a good product by the nutritional label. And all they have to do is take it to know that what we say is in there is in there. So yeah. It was an easy decision for me. And when I was leaving MFit that day, or A&Z Pharmaceutical headquarters, Nick goes, listen, he goes, we're going to find a way to make this work. However, we have to do it. He's like, we'll make it work. A week later, I had a contract signed. A week later, I was at, you know, the Honor Classic with them. So
it's cool. And like beyond like doctoring labels, like you were talking about, people that like screw product for consumers. Mm-hmm. Like even on the transparent side, Nick called me and you have Norvaline or Hortonine in the pre-workout.
Hortonine and trigger.
Yeah, and you were like, listen, the FDA put out you know, just like a kind of a warning, like we're going to be moving on this. Mm-hmm. We've already started formulating. You guys are a step ahead of everyone. You know, you guys keep your eyes out.
It was the day of, actually.
Yeah,
When the email went out, I was like, okay, back to the drawing board.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
And I think Guy's a perfect spokesperson for that like kind of style of you guys, because I was watching the Dave Palumbo interview with you last week and we were talking about training. Mm-hmm. You're like, look, I don't do anything crazy. I do what works for me, what I've been doing since I started in this. You know, sometimes Charles Glass gives you some special stuff. And the same things with your guys' products. Like, you're not coming out with the brand new ingredient that doesn't have human studies on it yet just because it's flashy, right? You're using tried and true ingredients. They come out and say, hordenine isn't safe anymore. It's like, all right, cool, we'll swap it out for something else safe.
Yeah.
You guys are to the point, no problems. So
when you talk basic supplements, aside from like your fish oils, your multivitamins, and your essential stuff, I mean, you really got your weight gainers, your whey proteins, your pre-workouts, your branched chain aminos, and your intra workouts, and then obviously you have your commodity lines, which is your creatines, your glutamines, agmatine, sulfate, whatever. But I mean, those are pretty much your basic, and then you have like your fat burners and stuff in there. Those are your basic ones. And if you can't get the bread and butter to a base to any brand, those 5 products are always going to be your staple products that are always going to sell. Everybody's always going to want a good isolate. Everybody's going to always want a good pre-workout. Everybody's going to always want a good branched chain amino, and everybody's going to always want a good intra-workout and a great fat burner, which our fat burner is on its way out as we speak. It's being formulated, or I think done formulated. Already almost in production.
We'll hit the new products after.
Yeah. So if you have those staple products and they work and they're good, you ain't going anywhere. But the problem is if anybody has a brain between their ears and inside their skull would know that every time a brand has to rebrand or reformulate, or we did it to taste better, or we did it to do this, it's because something wasn't in there that was supposed to, or there was something that was not in there that was supposed to be in there, or in there that wasn't supposed to be in there. So but people are so ignorant to the fact that they don't understand when brands do that, that's never a good thing. When you have to rebrand everything somebody's rebranding every 2 years, it's not a good sign.
Not a good look. Not a very good optic.
cool. Well, it seems like you guys have your sights set. Nothing changing in sight, just new products coming out. So we'll jump into the products next, and then maybe after we can talk a little bit about what's coming out next.
Welcome to Price Plow.